Let's move on to topic number 2. This created some big controversy. I know our friend Eric had a lot to say about this one in the group today. But XM kind of posed just kind of randomly today. Somebody, it was Art Statue Collector. I want to give him a shout out. He, I think, just acquired the Sanity Smoke version. And I think, was it Ben? I think Ben commented and something said like, what would you think about releasing Sanity in quarter scale? Like, my bat senses were tingling there for sure, because I think that would be insane. It would be hella expensive. I can't even imagine how much it'll be, but I thought this was a good topic. And again, Eric, I'll kind of let you take the lead on it, because I know you brought it to our attention, but what do you guys think about them releasing or possibly re-releasing something that is already available in another scale years later?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of talk about it, like in the group right now. It seems like a little bit split, but it seems like more people are saying they're against it. I mean, to go back and make something that was, already made at that time, that was pre-COVID when that piece came out, and that was a lot of money at that time for a 6 scale piece. You're talking about almost $3,000 for $3,000 for a 6 scale statue. And for someone like myself at that time, I looked at that piece and I said, that's a lot of money. But one of the things I factored in was the edition size. And I said, okay, it's a low edition size. It'll be nice to have this one-off special type, piece of my collection. Obviously, I'm a quarter scale collector. I would love, something in quarter scale, but they don't have a quarter scale license. They're not going to do it in quarter scale. That was the thing at the time, 6 scale. So I was like, all right, I'm going to put my money into that and buy it. And, I bought it, and it became a very popular piece, and everybody that has it is happy to, own one. And then for years, was it been 2 years maybe, later from that just come out, and it sounds like they kind of might be already working on it and want to do it, the way he was answering some of the people.
Kind of sounded like it.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's like, where do you draw the line? Because I was I brought up the fact, like, look at their Samurai line. The Samurai line is very popular for their company. Would it be cool to start making like slightly, less scale Samurai pieces, like 5th scale? Like where do you draw the line? Like, to where, or could we just change the color of the Sanity piece and make the smoke, or do like a bronze one or something? I mean, like, you got to draw the line somewhere. So then a lot of people were bringing up, well, other companies are doing it. Tweeterhead's doing it. So does J&D do it? I forget.
Well, I mean, just basically like Tweeterhead and XM, like they're
XM. XM was
the other one. Right. Basically, just if you are are new to the group or new to the channel, basically what XM is doing and what Tweeterhead is doing is that they're offering, at least for the most part, when they first go up for pre-order, they're available in 6 scale and also quarter scale now, which is new. That's a new thing that these companies are trying. But I feel like what the biggest issue here is that it's so much after the fact. Yeah. Where, like I think you had mentioned it before, is that if you had known ahead of time, like if you had the option 3 years ago that they were knowing that they were going to do quarter or 6th, then that would have let you make that decision. You made your decision based on the numbers and the information you had at the time.
It's the same thing for you right now. You're a 3rd scale collector, and you're considering a quarter scale. Would you say the Croc versus Batman?
Right, Croc versus
And you're only considering that because that's what's available. So how would you feel next year if they said, "Oh, guess what? Now we're doing a 3rd scale." And you just spent all this money on the quarter scales.
Yeah, I'd be pissed, and then I'd sell the quarter scale.
Well, that's what Ben said. Ben said, "Oh, there's a lot of people that want that 6 scale. It'll be very easy to trade." That was his response.
Well, what do you feel about that response? How do you? I mean, do you feel like that's a slap in the face?
Yeah, because I feel like, for the most part, I think 6 scale collectors weren't after that piece. This is a large 6 scale piece. I think a lot of people that bought that piece were actually quarter scale collectors or larger, and they just settled for 6 scale because that was all that was available. I don't see like that just showing up in the random 6 scale collectors collection that's trying to save space. It's not a space saving piece. But going back to like Tweeterhead, so Tweeterhead made the jump to do that as well with the Joker on Throne, but at least they did it during the pre-order phase, and they also made it right by giving collectors the option to upgrade their 6 scale Joker on throne to quarter scale. So at least they did that the right way.
I do feel like Tweeterhead's situation is a little bit different because when that went up for 6 scale, I don't think they had the deal in place with Sideshow to do quarter scale at that point. And so they've kind of had to go retroactive and kind of, make the decision to make some of the pieces. Again, we don't know if they're going to do an Ivy in 4 scale or a Scarecrow, but they did, go ahead and do the Harley, and they're doing this Superman, right? They're doing the Superman in quarter, or they might, maybe, or I think people are hoping they will, maybe. Yeah. So I haven't heard one way or the other yet, but
it's a little different because the 1/6 Joker on throne hasn't shipped.
That's true.
So it's easier to do that upgrade. How do you upgrade? How does XM upgrade people who bought Sanity a couple of years ago?
Yeah,
can't.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing we could do about it. If it happens, it looks like it will happen. It's just going to make me think twice about purchasing anything from them moving forward. So
I think it'll happen. I think it'll be expensive.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a small edition size, like maybe 100.
That's what the 6 scale already is. The smoke version was 150.
Oh, so maybe even smaller than that.
So colored was 300, I think, or 400.
They could really piss people off and add Riddler.
Yeah,
and that's what I brought up earlier. I'm like, that's the thing, is that if you want to give them something new, would that change your opinion, Eric? Having the one you have, if let's say they swapped out Riddler with the Penguin or somebody, would that change your viewpoint?
I would like them to see me change the design, and not because I own it. I'm the same way, like for anything I don't. Same thing with the Samurai line. I wouldn't want to see them do a 5th scale Samurai line, or 4.5 scale Samurai line, something where they can.
Yeah, but the reason they're doing it is because they don't have to do a new sculpt. They don't have to get new approvals.
Right.
It's all done.
It's all done.
It's easy.
Well, it looks like a money grab that way. So yeah.
It's a money grab, but if people want, I don't disagree with you at all, Eric. But I can see where they're coming from on a business level.
Would I buy a quarter scale? Yep. I would buy Sanity.
How big would that be?
I can't even imagine. Like, I was trying to think of that today, to think about how big a quarter scale would be.
If you double the price, you're looking at like $6-7 grand. So
yeah.
And that's the thing. I don't know if I could swallow that. I don't know if I just don't know if I could go there.
And that's how I felt about the 6 scale. I was like, I don't know if I want to spend $3 grand, but I was like, all right, it's a low edition size, and it's like a one of a kind piece that was actually my exact words in my head. It's a one of a kind piece that will never see anything like that ever again. And here they are, like, here it is again, but now bigger.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Do you feel like they've improved? I mean, you have it sitting in front of you. Do you feel like they've improved the sculpts in the last 2 years, whereas if you blow it up to quarter scale, it will lose something compared to what they're doing now?
No, I think it will blow up very nicely, because I that was actually one of their really well done pieces in quarter scale that has like a lot of details packed into it. So they could easily get away doing that quarter scale.
Dan Zed right here wants a 1-to-1 Batman Sanity. Well, that I can only imagine what that shipping cost would be. That would be nuts. So I don't know. I just thought that was real interesting. And again, a lot of people were saying that they would love to see the Samurai line done in that 6 scale. I don't know. Again, it's hard because, again, like Jeff said, they're already done. They already have it approved. They don't have to sculpt. They don't have to pay anybody else. It's just, printing money, basically.
Yep.
Well, where you draw the line, do you think that would then trickle over to their Rebirth line for the old 1/6 that they already did? And
I think it could.
The whole line again.
I think it could trickle over to anything. That's the thing. If they open up that floodgate, and it becomes the new norm, then either people get over it, or, like Eric said, it makes you question whether you're going to order from them again.
Well, it makes you question what they're going to do. Are they going to do a quarter scale bronzed version, or different colors now in the quarter? Like
that's what Prime 1 did.
Yeah, they used to make gold statues of Batman. So
they sure did. We have a silver statue and a gold statue. We have a gold Wonder Woman on horse.
Yeah.
So all the people that bought the smoked version, if they released like a bronzed or some weird, patina version, I mean,
can you imagine if Prime 1 put out Superman Hush in quarter scale?
Oh my God.
I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't want them to do something like that.
They would sell so many of those.
Yeah. And
Is
that
the
whole
new
line.
Zatanna and Cheetah part of the rebirth? Because they're making both those in quarter and 1/6, and Doomsday and I forgot who else in the list. Not Doomsday. Swamp Thing.
One thing.
Swamp
Yep,
Thing.
they're making that in 1/6.
But
So I
again,
wonder
that's becoming
if part of
the
this
new-
whole plan.
yeah. I mean, really, XM kind of started this whole thing with the two sizes. I mean, weren't they the first one kind of out of the gate to offer both?
Yeah.
Yep.
And so this is not necessarily anything new that they're doing, but it is the first time that they've gone back something so far.
Right.
So I don't know. It'll be real interesting to watch
Well,
and to see how people react.
They first did this with the Supergirl, and it pissed off a lot of people. But did they change the Supergirl between the 1/6 and 1/4, or was it the
No,
same?
that's what they did wrong. Is they said they were going to change it,
And they
and
didn't.
they didn't. It's identical.
The one
Now
thing
they
that
go
they are
back.
doing with the smaller scale is that they're like the Swamp Thing. You don't get the extra torso, you don't get the swap outs and stuff like that. So does that change the way you feel? Like if the quarter scale offers more than the 1/6, or a 1/6 collector's pissed because they can't get the same version as the quarter scale? Like
That would make me mad too. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Doesn't help with sanity.
no, unless they change something.
and
The
they
funny
said they.
thing- Go ahead.
No, I said that they said they stopped doing the the extra parts for the 6 scale because they were trying to keep the price down for people. Meanwhile, the 6 scale prices on those things are already crazy expensive. So I don't know what
They've
prices
gone
they
up
keep.
a lot from where they started with those, and there wasn't very many switch outs with them either.
Eric, that's exactly what I was about to say. The same thing. That like Swamp Thing there's less than a $200 difference between the 1/6 and the 1/4, and the 1/4 has an entire extra torso. So I don't see the value in the 1/6.
I was gonna say so much more value in the quarter scales
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, if it was like a $600 difference, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have said that out loud because now they'll probably do $600 more. But,
I feel like that's
and we,
really invested.
Lord knows that the prices aren't going down, at least anytime soon. We could talk about that ad nauseum, but I did think that it made a real interesting topic today because I could see a lot of people on one hand being really excited for the opportunity.
Yeah.
Although again, it's going to be a very limited opportunity, I would think. Like you said, probably a super low ES, and I can't even imagine the price point and who's going to pay $7,000. I don't know.
And who
But
has
if they
room
did
for
that made to order, and people they sell 2,000 of them, they're going to make 2,000 of them.
And are they going to do all of them? Are they going to do the Wonder Woman diorama and supposedly the so-called Superman one that's coming out next year, maybe?
It's possible, but I don't think any of those are going to be as popular as this Batman one.
It's like, how do you know? So now if you're thinking like, oh, maybe I'll collect all of them in quarter scale, you don't know what they're going to do with Wonder Woman or Superman.
You don't.
maybe they will offer the Superman in both scales right off the bat.
Yeah.
Which would be smart. If that's even if that's a thing, and maybe that's going to be their model going forward.
I'm still
Yeah.
shocked they could only find 5 villains for Wonder Woman.
Yeah, well, and I don't feel like that piece is near as good as Sanity.
It's not.
It's not. And like Cram says, just to see what happens. I mean, that's the thing is they're going to see what happens, and either it's going to go well for them, or I think it's going to go very well for them. I think they're going to make a lot of money.
On the collector side, when we're talking about, the 1/6 has such a low ES, but there's high demand for it right now. However, do you think, and Eric, you might be thinking of owning it, if they come out with a quarter scale, though, will you be able then to sell that one the same way you are now? Or is
I
that
think so, only because the quarter scale is going to be ridiculously priced, where a lot of people aren't going to be able to afford it, and
Or have
I
room
think
for
it's going to be too big for a lot of people's, the space-wise in their collection.
Yeah, that's the thing is like Jeff said, who's going to display it other than Jeff Morris's dining room table?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's really what a lot of it is about on that piece. It was the amount of money I paid for it. I mean, maybe if it was cheaper, I wouldn't really care as much, but the fact that I paid so much for the thing and then they release it, like, I don't know. Like I said, I thought it was going to be like this special one-of-a-kind piece that you'll never see again. So
anyway, it'll be interesting to watch what happens. I mean, again, they have not made anything official. We're speculating based on their comments today in Facebook. But like you guys said, it sounds like it's in the works.
Yeah, he wasn't answering like, okay, that's a bad idea. He was answering like, no, like, yeah, I think it's like happening.
Yeah. So we'll see. And maybe they, even if they hadn't started, maybe they just wanted to kind of get a feel, kind of what people thought. But again, I think it'll come down to the size of it and how much it costs. I mean, that's the thing. But what if they did 50 and ES of 50 or something? That, you know, who knows?
I was mad this morning. I've cooled down a lot, so I'll be happy to see it when people's collections when it comes out. So curious to see how big the thing is. So
we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Well, we've talked for about an hour. You guys want to look at photos since we have so many?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll get.
So while you're punching that up, do you have an idea? Are there more quarter scale collectors, or are there more 1/3 scale collectors, or are there more 1/6 scale collectors?
Oh, I think way more quarter. Don't you feel like that's still the most popular?
I feel like somebody did a poll one time in the Facebook groups, and the majority was quarter scale.
I don't have a handle on how many 1/6 scale collectors are out there. Yeah, if there's a lot or not. I don't know.
I think that there are some, and I think that there are some because of space and price.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's necessarily by choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
that's the way I look at it. Yeah.
I do feel like, okay, well, like I've got this much money, I've got this much space. This is still going to fill that passion I have for the character to be displayed, but I still would prefer a quarter scale. I kind of get that vibe.
Yeah, that could be.
And maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. What about you guys? Is that kind of the feeling you get?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying quarter scale. I'm doing the mix of 1/4 and 1/6. Most 1/6 collectors are mostly hot toys. I think that's true.
There's got to be a lot of those.
Yeah, a lot of 6 scale. I think there's probably more 6 scale collectors out there than statue collectors.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just looking at the other figure channels. I mean, there's so much more interest, but they're so much more affordable. I mean, I can get a whole bunch of $250 figures or $300 figures instead of a $3,000 statue. I mean, that's big difference.
For the 6 scale, you're looking at it's almost about 30 inches tall by 20 by 20. That's for the 6 scale.
That's big.
So
Big.
quarter scale is a little bit more double. Was usually a double. So
I feel like for the 6 scale statue collectors, a lot of the photos you'll see in the groups, the people who, I think say photo wise, I see has like a handful mixed with the rest of their larger scale collections.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's interesting. That's a good question, Jeff.
Hey guys, thank you so very much for watching today, and if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button right here on the screen and check out these 2 awesome videos. I think you're going to love them. And also please join us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I would love to have you join in all the fun. Thank you guys so very much for watching. See you in the Batcave.